This autumn, Milwaukee Tool has you covered with a comprehensive lineup of pro-grade chainsaws and hatchets designed to tackle any cutting task with ease. No pull starts, no petrol fumes, no downtime for ongoing engine maintenance. Find your closest authorised trade partner today at milwaukeetool.com.au and experience the power and performance for yourself. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
This episode is also brought to you by our friends at RIXX. RIXX is an Australian lifestyle brand founded with a mission to transform the eyewear industry by creating carefully crafted eyewear that inspires confidence. Everybody should be able to enjoy a touch of luxury and the confidence it brings. See the world differently today. Head online now at rixeyewear.com.au and check it out. Righto, let's get into the show.
How many pairs of sunnies do I have to send you so that you don't wear aviators?
No, I got no idea. I picked these up from Kmart.
I reckon I was giving you 5 pairs. I need to change my tune.
You know what? I'm the king of the foot game. You gotta shut your big fucking Luna pork mouth, you fucking bum. Shut your mouth. You'll do nothing.
It's good time.
Big shout out to Squashy though. You got the Squash Sports Recreation Club.
Mate. These are great. Jack Watts gave me these jumpers. I think he was hoping that I'd give him a nick, but I wore them all. So sorry, Jack, but they are great jumpers. So
I have seen you in them a lot. Are you playing tennis at the moment?
Yeah, I'm playing a little bit. Like I'm still a member down at Kooyong somehow, and I went down to the day squad the other day and got chopped up by a bunch of 14-year-olds. So
I saw your Instagram and mate, that is that funny when you hit the net and you're like, fuck.
Mate, I take it so seriously. You know,
you're good. You talk yourself down too much, I reckon.
Yeah,
you're very good.
No, I appreciate that, mate. It's nice of you to say. Look, I'm a qualified coach now. I went through Tennis Australia and got the qualifications. So, you know, it's always something that I'd like to fall back on. Like, I love tennis. I'm so passionate about the game. At some point, if comedy doesn't work out, I'll definitely probably turn my hand to tennis coaching, you know, because I still love the game so much. But, yeah, look, I don't know, mate. It's just something that I enjoy doing. It's a good stress release for me. And even though I'm getting chopped up by the next gen, I'll still get out there and compete like you wouldn't believe.
Next gen. You're so funny. With 14-year-olds top like that, is that how good the talent is coming through?
Oh, there's some very good players, man, and especially at that squad. Like David Bidmead, he runs the Roost down there, and he runs a Kooyong day squad, and a lot of those kids are, you know, trying to go pro or playing in the futures Challenger circuit. So those guys are really good, mate. So the level's high, you know.
Talk me through, like, so when you go down there, is it just a pickup game? Or you're teeing up these 14-year-olds to play?
Mate, it's so funny. Like, I wear all whites. I put my sweatbands on, and these kids are just looking at me like, who is this psycho? And I'm out there, like, full grunting, like, ripping commands. Like, I'm taking it so serious. It's so funny. But that's why I think Bitters likes me down there, because I bring, like, a good energy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I take it really seriously.
And competitive. Like, that rally you put up on Insta.
Yeah.
I just remember you put this story up, and you're like, trust me, wait to the end. And it went for about a minute. It's the longest rally, and then you've hit it into the net and gone, fuck.
Yeah. Mate, I take it so seriously. Like, when I was a kid, I was such a little tennis nerd. Like, my first email address was tennisfreakofnature@hotmail.com. Like, I was an absolute psycho, mate.
That's great, though.
Yeah, look, it is. But, yeah, look, I just love it, man. Like, there's nothing I love more.
Speaking of tennis, I missed it. And you somewhat missed it as well. Yeah, we've had a little bit of a laugh down at the cafe here, which is quite funny, but it's not that funny. But yeah, round out the Aussie Open for me, mate, because I was in America and I was flat, but then I saw that, you know, the Dream Team, Cocky and Kiggs were out due to the injury, which sucked. But I didn't feel like I was missing too much when I saw that our mates were kind of gone. So. Yeah, it's your main event, and everyone comes from far and wide to watch you today's show. You know, you are in the box giving them these ones. You got the gun. You would have worked out all year just to get your guns.
Well, it's funny. I get that message all the time. Like, people are commenting on my social media saying, Elliot's like Mariah Carey on Christmas. You know, it's like the same thing. It's like every time the Oz Open rolls out, I'm just like, ladies and gentlemen, here I am. Get ready for a couple of Sterling, Novak and Rafa Nadal impersonations. Here he is. But yeah, it was funny, mate, because I actually got really crook. So the boys obviously couldn't play, and I got really crook. So I had like a eye infection, and I got bitten by a mosquito when I was away with my misso down the coast.
Wow,
and
in the eye?
Yeah, no, so I got like a really sore throat, and then my eye just went redder than the devil's appendage, and I was like, what's going on here? And I went to the ear and eye hospital, and they just said, mate, your eye's cooked. and basically I had to have like surgery on it because it formed heaps of scar tissue like in the actual eyeball.
Oh, wow.
So I had to like put my head on this like, I don't know, this little thing, and they literally just like ripped open my eye and like scraped it all out, man. It's so uncomfortable. Wow. Yeah.
You're out? You're out?
What's that?
Like you're asleep when this
No,
happened?
man, like fully awake.
Awake?
Yeah, man. I had this like Asian doctor like full talking to me, man, and I had to like make convo with him and stuff. Like he was like, "Yeah, how are you, mate? You're good." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all good."
And
mate.
you got to keep your eye open.
Yeah,
while
like they wedge it open, but yeah, it's pretty full on. But they put like an anesthetic drop in your eye so that it numbs it, but it's just uncomfortable as, man. And then like after it like subsides, like the anesthetic subsides, you're like, "Oh man, like this hurts." Yeah. And then to make matters worse, man, Thanasi really wanted me at his match, and I wanted to go too.
I saw this.
And he played Andy Murray. It was like the third latest finish in tennis history or something. It was like 4:30 in the morning or something it finished. And I was sitting there with like sunglasses on, getting potted by all my mates in the box, like literally had the specs on, 4:30 in the morning. All my mates are messaging me going, who the fuck is this bloke wearing glasses in Thanasi Kokkinakis's box? Like it was all over the TV. Jim Courier's giving it these ones. He's like, what's going on right there? But some guy is wearing sunglasses at 4:30 in the morning in this Andy Murray, the Thanasi Kokkinakis matchup. What is going on right about now? Like he couldn't work it out. Roger Rashid's like, yeah, there seems to be a wanker there courtside, and it's not me. It's another bloke in the box. And he's anyway, so I'm sitting there like soaking it up, and like literally, man, my eye was bleeding after the match.
Really?
And I made the joke with Thanasi. I'm like, mate, you played so fucking bad, my eyes were bleeding. So, yeah, it was a great match. Like, I mean,
wasn't it?
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
Like it was that last set was like, it was hard to watch in the end because you're like, come on, big fella, like get the chocolates.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was one of the greatest matches.
It was so good to watch. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that the day that I had eye surgery, I watched my mate play one of the biggest gladiatorial sporting matches I've ever seen.
He stitched you up, hadn't he?
No, I thought I was going home when he was 5-3 up in the third at like, it was like 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, beauty, I get to rest my eye up, and then it just kept going.
That is going, you're a loyal man.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Why was it so late? Because I was in the States and I couldn't work out, was there a delay? Or was it just like it started late?
I think it was slightly delayed, and then it just kept going, mate. The rallies were some of the most hectic rallies I've ever seen. But I have a theory, and I think a lot of the players would agree with me here, that it seems to be slowing down every year. Like I think their balls, the tennis balls themselves are actually getting slower. The courts are getting slower, and I think they're doing it for the spectators to make the rallies longer to generate more interest in the sport.
Yeah, right. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah, I think it's happening. Yeah.
Well, you could easily, you'd be able to get statistics on that.
Yeah, you probably could.
And see how many rallies, there's been in the last 5 years.
Do you know?
No, but we could find it.
Yeah. Jamie, can you pull that up?
So that is, so your eye thing is fascinating.
Yeah, man.
Your eyes look fantastic. So which one is it?
Like, it was my left eye. Yeah. Mate, it was really bizarre because, what was it called? I'm trying to remember the exact name of the infection. I actually know the name, but anyway, what can happen is you can get bitten by these mosquitoes. They carry the infection, and it started off with like a really sore throat, and then my eye just went so red, man. Like it was literally like completely red, and it was really sore. And I was using like for what they call it, like pink eye. What's it called? Like what's it called though?
I don't know.
Conjunctivitis or something like that?
Oh, when it gets all like
so that's what I thought that I had. So I was just getting all the stuff you can get from the chemist for that. And all the chemists were like, oh, it's just conjunctivitis. It'll heal up. Yeah. But it got so red.
Like eye drops or something?
Yeah, nothing was fixing. In fact, it was getting worse. And when I showed Thanasi for the first time, he's like, why's your eye like that? So then I go to the eye and ear hospital. Like these are the ophthalmologists, like the actual trained eye surgeons. And the guy just looked at me. He's like, oh, mate, your eye is completely cooked. Like you need to get that
stressing?
Oh, not really. Like when I was there, I knew I was in the capable hands of these, like, surgeons.
And they were like, you're going to be fine. We're going to sort this out.
Yeah, they were going to sort it out. But it's like, it's going to be, uncomfortable. We're going to have to take the scar tissue out and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and so like we were saying off mic, like I'll miss my Super Bowl, because those 2 weeks the Oz Open, when they roll around, I make like a lot of my money in those 2 weeks. I make get a lot of what do you call it, like exposure.
Yeah.
So for me to get that kind of eye issue and get that sick, I only had like 3 or 4 days where I was feeling 100%.
Yeah, but you still fought. Like you still. I mean, you didn't. I mean, you still got to attend half the Super Bowl, but by the looks of it, it's a bit unfortunate, and I mean, that. And then to get the backlash offline for wearing the sunglasses.
Yeah,
like, can you imagine walking around with like an eye patch instead?
Well,
Like,
I had an eye patch and I showed Thaddeus. He goes, mate, if you wear that in a box, I'm just showing you, mate.
you're not sitting in my
He's
box.
like, mate, you can't sit there if you're going to wear that. So he was absolutely potting me. So I was like, all right, I'll wear the sunnies. And so, yeah, I was just getting ripped by all my mates' dads and stuff. They were like, who is that abnormally overzealous bloke sitting in the front row with those spectacles on? It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, in America, they wear sunglasses like it's kind of normal. So Jim Curie calling you out there is a bit of a stitch up, I reckon.
Yeah, pot calling the kettle black. You
Yeah,
mate,
exactly
yeah.
right. Oh, there you go. What was your take on the Aussie Open this year? I know it's been a month or two ago, but
yeah, look, it was really good. It was obviously, we all knew Novak was going to get it done. I called that at the start of the tournament.
kind of the only guy that I really like. To be honest, you know me, I don't follow the sport as closely. I only follow like our boys, and everyone's like, "Who do you think's going to win?" And I called the grand final, like, because I only knew really a few people.
Oh, really?
Well, I just kind of when I was in America, these guys will make it, and then
Yeah.
Novak's just so good, man.
Mate, he's a freak, man.
He's like it's like an F1. It's like, when you go watch F1, Staffan's going to just win, and you might have a little bet on the top 3 just so it's competitive because you don't know who's going to come second. But it's like that in tennis at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like he's probably the most dominant athlete I've almost ever seen. Like, I mean, it's hard to compare different codes in different sports, but I know I'm biased for sure because I'm such a tennis enthusiast, but it's almost like getting to the point. Like if he can accumulate a few more Grand Slams and start pushing the 30 mark, you'd almost it'd be really difficult to argue if he was the most dominant sports person of all time, like across any sport.
It is hard when you're comparing different codes.
Sports, but I think if he gets to around the 30 mark, a lot of people I know in tennis would agree with me. I don't know if many people across different sports would agree with me there, but I know it's a contentious statement to make, but it's such a dominant thing to do in men's tennis. Like, it's so hard to explain how difficult that is to do.
Did he just break a record not long ago? 344 weeks at number 1, which was
I'm not sure
record?
about that. I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't seen that.
I saw that on the
It
gram.
wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. But I just think what he's done in the men's game, and it is such a difficult sport, and it's so grueling, and the travel and the amount of hours and this insane amount of discipline. Like, people often say to me, "Oh, tennis is hard. Golf is harder than tennis," and I can see how there's a lot of comparisons there. Like, golf's an incredibly difficult sport, but the thing I always say about that is, it's like, but you can be an overweight golfer and still be in the top 10. Like, you can be a John Daly type operator and still cane it. Like, these guys are freakish athletes. They need to be sitting at like 6% body fat to have a fighting chance in the top 100. And then also they've got to be, hitting the ball absolutely outrageously well. So I think it's, in that respect, like one of the most difficult sports, not to mention the mental side of things. It's insane.
Yeah, it would be. As you see when you're playing the 14-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what it is, the mental side?
Yeah, I get locked in some pretty heated exchanges. Yeah.
Have you had a little bit of lip back at the 14-year-old?
100%. Yes, I played a match. I filled in for my mate in pennant, in grade 1 pennant, which is a pretty good standard last year. And I hadn't played a match in like 7 years. And I'm thinking I'm going to roll out there and play like unbelievably inspiring tennis. And I just didn't, I played horrifically. And the first week I rocked up, 0 training. I played this bloke and he was ripping come-ons like after the first like couple of games, full in my face, come on, like constantly there. I'm like, this guy is so annoying, right? So I go down like 6-love. I'm 5-1 down. It starts spitting. It starts raining. And he'd been ripping come-ons the whole match and been stitching me up. And I looked at the boys and I looked back at him and I go, watch this. And I just walked up to the net like this with my hand down. And I'm like, mate, it's wet. I think we're going to have to call it. I'm like, mate, it's really wet. And he's like, mate, what the fuck? He got so wired up. He's like, it's 6-love 5-1. Fuck. And I'm like, yeah, but mate, it's raining. The clouds, they look ominous, mate. Bad luck, mate. Good game, though. Draw.
Did he shake the hand?
It's a draw. I'm like, yeah. And then he got so mad he wouldn't bag the court.
How old was he?
I don't know, like 21. Takes it so seriously.
Oh, that is great. Have you had it, speaking of tennis, pivoting here to like paddle and and what's the other name? There's
I'm not sure, but I know Nick's invested heavily in that that format.
I just played it. What's it? Paddle and what?
I know what you're talking
Oh my
about.
God,
I know
I
I've had a
can't
mental
believe
blank
it.
as well. I need more coffee, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. There is like variations of tennis that are going on. Pickleball,
far
and paddle.
out.
Yeah.
Because I played pickleball, but
Yeah.
paddle down here in Melbourne apparently is bigger, and everyone's
Yeah.
setting up leagues. And have you played much?
I've played a couple of times. Like I haven't played enough yet. It's a lot of fun, and I think the good thing about that pickleball, paddle, that kind of thing, it's a real good leveler. Because if you go and have a hit with someone who's played a lot of tennis, like for me, for example, if I go hit with Kyrgios, it's not fun. I get absolutely chopped. You know, like he's so far ahead of me, and like the level disparity in tennis is so evident when you step on the court with someone who's like top tier. Whereas with paddle, you can be a pretty average player who's never hit a ball and come up against someone who plays all the time, and like the person who plays all the time is going to chop you, but it's a real good leveler. You know what I mean? Like it's not like playing a guy in tennis. Like you can hit the ball, you make more balls, you have more fun, Yeah,
and you get a good sweat as well.
Yeah, and you get a good sweat
one-on-one anyway, I noticed. When we were playing in Newport, actually. Shout out to the boys, Mike and Justin, and a few of the mates. And I rolled in as like the fifth. So, like, geez, was I hungover as well? I was like, I didn't know what I signed up for. Like, come play some pickleball. I'm like, yeah, I'll smoke these blokes. You know what I mean? Like, 2-on-2, and it's real tactical. You get a bit down on yourself because when you like miss a couple and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, mate.
Because it's really
tough.
you can hit it pretty hard, but then certain parts of the paddle, if you do hit it too hard, it goes deep. You're like, oh, geez, you kind of have to play slow and tactical.
All those racket sports, like club sports, like golf and stuff like that, it's the same. It's so finicky, man. It's like a centimeter off, and the ball. But
it's
goes
like I know you're a gun at table tennis. I've seen you, but like, a lot of us played table tennis in our spare time at footy clubs. And growing up, I was lucky enough. The old boy used to smack me, and I'd get he's got his measure now. But I used to play a lot of table tennis, like in the summer and whatnot. And I feel like if you can play table tennis, you'll pick it up.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Pickleball quite quickly.
Those things, they transition. I think, even tennis, if you've got a good base tennis level, you play pickleball, you pick it up straight away.
Yeah.
Any sort of racket sport, you know. Same thing. Like I've played like beach tennis and stuff like that. And even though it's quite different, it's more like beach volleyball than it is tennis.
Yeah.
You still like feel like you can take on guys who play a lot. So
do you think it'll take off in Oz? Because it's going off.
Yeah, look, I think so, man. I think so. Like I know that Nick's invested heavily in it.
Oh, so he's invested in a team?
Yeah, he's invested in a team, and he's actually in the process of drafting players now. Like I was talking to him.
Really?
Yeah, like he's going through the draft and looking at people like ex-tennis players and guys who play it like professionally.
It's
like
going to be big.
Yeah, I think it's going to be big. Like I know that he's banking on it. I know that a lot of athletes have invested in it. So like, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. Like if these guys are all investing,
it's a great call.
Yeah.
When you see all these big athletes making huge investments, becoming pin-up boys
100%.
for the advertising companies, and becoming the covers, it's going to happen.
Look at Mark Wahlberg with the UFC. I mean, he invested in that when it was in its infancy, and a lot of people like, mate, you're nuts. And look at it now. Like you'd almost say that it's bigger than boxing.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, it's massive.
It's huge. Yeah.
Well, when I was in Dallas, the gym I went to in Frisco there, it's a nice gym. It's massive, and they had heaps of tennis courts, heaps.
Yeah.
And they were all pickleball. So they
oh, no way.
So because there's so much room, instead of having like just a tennis court, no one was really using them.
Yeah.
They split them up on a diagonal angle kind of thing they were. And I couldn't tell you how many. They were and there was people everywhere. And you can't even, because I said to my mate, can we go play one? He's like, they're all booked out. You got to book them out weeks in advance.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's
so it's massive over in the States.
Pumping. Like when I played it like an indoor, where it's like just set up your net. And it was, they played on half a tennis court, half a basketball court.
Some of this stuff. I just don't check my wallet, see how much money I got. I'm investing in that. You've really piqued my ears up there. I'm a little bit.
Mate, why are you got a missus now?
Yeah, I know.
You got the doll now.
Yeah, I was just saying, mate, off mic, because we're having a good laugh about it. But yeah, like I got a misso now, and I'm overextending myself that much. She thinks I've made it cash, but I'm just trying to impress her. I'm snowed in so much debt, mate. I'll never get out of this hole. I'm on the phone to Latitude Finance, and like Afterpay, I'm like, give me another loan.
Afterpay, geez, aren't they? That's a company you wish you invested in. That's fantastic. How's the relationship? How's it like? What's the difference between I've only known you being single. Now you're in a relationship. What's the difference? You don't go out as much, or you're extending yourself at these dinners instead of going out. Like, what?
I'm finally getting some action, mate.
Your forearms are a bit skinny.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Nah, she's a ripping bird, man. You know, like she's really intelligent. She's fair bit younger than me, but mate, she's a ripper and she's a good looking sort. So I'm absolutely punching.
Oh, you got to punch.
Yeah, I'm punching.
No point punching below.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm really punching above my weight. It's she gets copious amounts of DMs from other predatorial blokes on the daily.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Blokes like Cocky are just like, what you doing? You up? Is that boyfriend legitimate? Or
It's fucking funny, man. I can only imagine the DMs going through.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's great. How did you meet? This is always good. And, you know, first date. First date, and how'd you meet?
Well, mate, I met her at a mate's house party. And she was actually, funnily enough, she was like, oh, I actually know. She knew who I was. Like, I think her friend's little sister, one of my mate's little sisters who's like friends with her, was like all across some of the gear that I'd pushed out over the last few years, and like she knew a few of my videos and like was saying, oh, I think you're really funny, like I've seen some of that stuff, and I was like, beauty, I'm in here.
Oh, you like that? Yeah, I like that too.
So I just got talking to her and we exchanged like I think Instagram or something like that, and I started messaging her and teed up a date, and the rest was history.
The date, we'll go straight date then history, but I always like the first date.
Yeah, I was a bit nervous.
Where do you go? What do you do? It's always like, what are you up to? What is your first date?
Yeah, I think I took her to this little bar on Glen Huntley Road, and we were playing like Connect 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're playing a lot of Connect 4. It's like a nice little bar there. It's like an antique bar, and you walk in there and they've got like board games and drinks and stuff.
Did you get competitive with the Connect 4?
I got pretty competitive actually, yeah.
Did you have to let her win or?
Well, I said that I was, but I was actually just continuously losing, and I was like, yeah, I'll let you win that one. Fucking hell. I was getting so mad, man. Like I was getting real mad. But, yeah, like, you know, she's obviously a lot smarter than I am, so she was just outsmarting me, but I didn't want to let her know that.
Yeah. Just tactical little victories.
Yeah.
That's great. It's good to see you. And you're in great shape. You're still with your fitness. That's something I must say. You are inspiring to watch in terms of your industry. I don't know a lot of comedians that are as fit as you. I'll be honest.
Look,
like if you see a comedian, I'm not like Kevin Hart's pretty lean and fit, and he likes to work out, but. You know, it's a tough gig. It's when you make it, it's like, you know, there's a lot of drinking involved because you're going to these places and afterwards, but you're very professional with, you know, your body and your strength, and you don't drink that much.
Yep.
How do you do it? Like, how do you separate yourself compared to because you are a bit of an outlier in the comedian.
Thanks, mate.
As a comedian, there's not many
that's true.
fit
That's
like
true,
you.
As a comedian, yeah. Coming from you, mate, I've seen those Stravia things you upload to
mate, have you seen
Instagram.
me left calf? I just fucking strained it.
I was looking at him, I go, mate, has this guy been on the push bike? He's running 2-minute 40s. I reckon this guy's been on a skateboard.
I honestly reckon
those e-scooters.
I reckon I could make the Olympic squad. I reckon 800.
No,
I said that to my mates once. Like, I reckon I could beat Bowl. They're like, mate, you're kidding yourself.
Tommy, every time I see a Stravia update, you're shaving minutes off your running time. Like, hang on a second, this guy's going about Albert Park Lake in 2 minutes.
I don't think it works, mate, because I did 2 runs and then strained me little calf for the first time in 3 years. Because what happened was, you know, when you just go, right, enough's enough. I've had me trip. And in Newport, I was like, I'm back. Fitness, work. I'm so motivated. Let's go. So I just thought 10K, bang, straight up.
Wow, that's a lot.
And I was like, mate, if you had a video on me at the pier, I was like limping. I was like watching my Strava. I'm like, fucking 750 to go, you weak bastard. Just get it done. You know, I'm not finishing at 9.2.
That's so funny.
Got it done, and everyone's like looking at me. I'm like, can hardly walk. Me right tendon and me hammies. Like, it feels like it's about to snap. Then the next day, I've gone for another one, or 2 days later, I went for another one, and my calves were tightening up, and then got back to Melbourne, and then little Nick in the warm-up.
I got to say, though, I am inspired by it. So, obviously, you're a big inspiration when it comes to my fitness prowess.
Running. I'm good at running, but you're rigged, mate. We need to I want to know your gym program.
Mate, I think it's just good habits from like a young age. Like, I think tennis really helped because I played a lot of tennis as a youngster, and it forces you to have that discipline. And, you know, after school, all I was doing was playing tennis and just playing lots of sport. And I think like I had like a genuine interest in it. Like when I was about 17, 18, started taking tennis really seriously. I wanted to build up my body just for the sport. And then, like, I realised, you know, like it's important if you're got a pill like mine to pull birds. You need to have a nice physique underneath there. So, you know, that sort of was when I started getting into topless wading and the male stripping. And,
Yes.
you know, it's sort of transitioned from there. But I think I just realised it was a nice little draw card. So first,
You got a pill like mine, you need to have a good drink.
so firstly, it was mostly to do with cosmetics. You know, like I thought, you know, I just wanted to look good for the birds and stuff like that and functionality for tennis. But then as I've gotten older, I just kind of enjoy the feeling, the vitality, and like I feel so much younger than what I am, and I feel like just super healthy, and I don't know, like I just like rolling out of bed and feeling good, you know? Like I think when you're eating junk food and you're not exercising and stuff, I mean, I don't know if that's all you've done, you probably don't know anything different. But because I got used to living like that, I don't like the feeling. Like I hate it. Like I want to feel good, you know?
Oh, mate.
Everything feels better, like your brain, like everything, man.
I've got a new rule with like today.
Yeah.
Like I got up, I have to do minimum 20 minutes cardio before I do an interview.
Yeah, shit.
Or I'm too like.
So did you run this morning?
No, I did the because of my calf. I did the little cross trainer thing.
Do you have one at home?
I got one at the gym in the apartment. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that's
that's what
why
I
I made a
moved.
cash.
No,
That's
no,
a
no, 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 no.
superannuation looking. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
going to call Afterpay as well, mate. Don't worry.
Mate, I'm going to be calling you for loans.
I made sure that I moved into an apartment complex with a gym because there's no excuses.
Be like,
I'm a-
Tommy, mate, my missus' birthday's coming up. Hard for cash.
But there's actually as I said to you, there's a cinema.
Yeah.
And you got to book it, but it's always booked out.
Yeah.
I booked it last night, and I went in there, and the Netflix had froze because someone had been in there the night before. So
Bloody hell.
I was literally in this cinema on my own with nothing to watch. I tried to watch your show, we'll talk about it in a second, and I couldn't even get into 7+. Then I ended up finding a way. I called reception and said, I need some help, and ended up, it's been about an hour and a half. My grilled burger that I ordered after going for a gym's all cold.
The bar bar's cold. The Mighty Melbourne.
I think it was the Zen hen, extra
the Zen
chicken.
hen. Yeah, nice. Yeah,
Chuck the
beautiful.
chicken in, leave the bacon out.
Bloody hell.
And then
Brought to you by Grill Burgers, the #1 burger industry in Australia.
you are a magician, mate.
Yeah, so out of pocket.
But ended up watching the golf full swing, just 3 episodes. I won't
Nice.
ruin it for anyone out there, but
I heard it's great.
Oh, you got to watch it. Do you like golf?
I do, but I'm no good.
I think this is what, I mean, you do like it. So if no one's good, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's just for fun. And if you're good, you'd be playing pro. But oh my goodness, it is incredible insight.
They're centimetre perfect, those guys.
Oh,
It's
but just
amazing.
shows you the real side of the human, which I love. I think they should do it in any sport or any industry, whether it's business, anything behind the scenes, the way they've captured it and the way they've cut it up.
Yeah.
It's,
Mate, it's pretty elite, isn't it? Like,
they've got it. They've done it at a perfect time because of the live golf and the Saudis and all that.
And also, there's
drama.
that tennis Netflix documentary is out as well. So
Is that out yet?
Yeah, it's out. It's out. I actually got my pill on there.
Yeah, I was going to say because
it's pretty funny.
Cocky and Kiggs are on that heavily, and you're in there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's out.
That's out.
I need to catch up.
It's good. It's really good, mate. It's
How many
really good.
episodes is that one?
I think it's 6, but I think only 3 are out at the moment.
And your pills in there
Yeah, it's
frequently.
pretty funny. So like when they were walking out for one of the doubles matches, I was carrying the bags like Bobby Boucher, and they're walking out in front, and I'm just behind them. Like I've just been in the gym. I've done about 300 bicep curls because I had an inkling there might be a camera around the corner. So I'm walking there like right behind the boys, just like I've just pretend that I haven't seen the camera. I'm like, yeah, right, boy. Just walking with the bags. But yeah, it's pretty funny. It's all like slow mo with music and stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It is cool. Like, like later in life when you settle down with the Dahl and you're playing
I
Connect
know.
4 and you got your kids running around the backyard. You look at this doco, it's fucking cool.
Well, yeah, it's pretty funny, mate. Like, as I said, like Kyrgios was on Logan Paul's podcast the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I saw Logan Paul, one of the first things he said was like, I watched the Netflix documentary and I saw you on there. I was like, yeah, mate, you just got subjected to Loney's pill. You would have seen my head then, Logan. So Logan Paul, whether he likes it or not, he's seen this pill.
That is
he's
great.
seen it.
Logan would have seen that.
Yeah.
That is a great shout. That's aren't the Paul brothers just killing it at the moment?
Mate, absolutely smashing it.
Killing it. Jake Paul loses the boxing match and still takes home
30 million.
30 mil and 4 times the pot.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
It is unbelievable.
Yeah. Would you jump in the ring for that kind of money?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when you go on like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, you get a lot of the videos now. And I don't know what it is on YouTube, the shorts, but a lot of UFC shorts pop up.
Yeah.
It just must be the first one.
Yeah, my algorithm's cooked, man. I get the weirdest things.
Yeah. And anyway, it popped up and it had like, I can't remember Jackson. I can't remember his first name. Anyway, he was on that Fantastic Four. Anyway.
Yeah.
Rampage Jackson. And he was talking about how he said there's definitely like corruption, not in UFC, but in other leagues.
Yeah,
and he breaks it down. He goes, but what happens is he reckons this is what he was saying. He said that they tee up when they're going to hit them, but the guy that's teed up that's going to get hit, he knows it's coming, but he thinks he's just going to get like a whack.
Yeah.
But then the guy that's hitting him says, well, fuck, I'm going to knock him out right here. And that's what
Shit.
happens. And then he
Really?
plays like clips of like Jake Paul just knocking out these blokes. And he's like,
Wow.
that's exactly what he's doing. He's playing to the script.
Wow.
But who knows? That's one guy's
Yeah,
opinion.
okay, yeah.
And then you see the fake, did you see the fake news of someone leaking the script before the fight?
I saw that. Is that legit or not?
Well,
I
it
don't know.
can't be because he lost the script unless they changed the script
Yeah,
overnight.
well, that's what I mean.
But
That happened just before
bizarre that like people leak that stuff or even attempt to make it up or if it is going on.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you're that, I mean, they're both really public people, you know what I mean? Like they've got a huge profile. So if you're that big and people want to jump in on the clout, I can understand like putting the rigor in to make like a.
Well, it just stirs the pot, doesn't
exactly.
it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just fascinating to read and it looked
100%.
It looked, I mean, whoever did it made it look that legit. I've just gone down to the hotel lobby and found this. Like the night before, it's like, come on.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
That's
So
crazy.
true.
Now, speaking of TV, this is very exciting. It's out now. It'll be probably 5 episodes in by the time this is released. But mate, talk to us about what you've been doing. I'm trying to get the name here before I forget the skit that you're doing, the comedy.
Yeah. It's called We Interrupt This Broadcast.
That's the one.
And it's on Channel 7 at the moment, which is really cool. They've got 10 episodes, an hour long with the ads, so 45-minute episodes, which is pretty long. And it's sort of like, I don't know if a lot of our listeners are old enough to remember, but fast forward, Full Frontal, like the original comedy series, where like Eric Banner and Magnus Sabansi and those people sort of started out. It's real traditional sketch comedy. So it's got like the canned laughter and like, it's just one gag after the other. And it's just satirizing like mainstream TV shows like Maths and Bachelor and,
Amazing Race, I saw.
Amazing Race and, Survivor and all that kind of stuff. And just full taking the piss of all those shows are on telly basically. And
that's great.
A few original characters too. But it's been a really good experience. And I kind of got on that show off the back of Australia's Got Talent. So I was very lucky. It was kind of like a really good, so just right place, right time. So hopefully we get another season because as I understand, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the writers wrote about 80% of the scripts before they had a cast. So I think if we did have a second season, it would really help because then we'd be able to sort of maybe contribute a little bit more. Like I wrote a few scripts as well, but also play to people's strengths,
Yeah.
So, because that's what I really like about the show. It's like a sport thing. It's like a camaraderie thing. Everyone's like, there's something for everyone, because as we know, comedy is so subjective and like what's funny to you might not be funny to me and vice versa. So, there's someone in that show for everyone, I think. So playing to everyone's strengths and making sure everyone's doing the thing that they're best at, I think will really help in the second season, which we didn't really have in the first. So
you're just reading the script and putting a little bit of Loney magic on it.
Yeah, trying to, but then at the same time, just thinking, watching the show, and I'm sure the other cast feel the same. You're watching skits and you're going, I reckon I should have played that guy and he should have played that guy.
Oh,
and I reckon he should have played that guy and I should have played that guy, and because you know what you're good at and they know what they're good at. But when the writers are writing 80% of the scripts without having a cast, they're not necessarily thinking that. It gets to the point where the people are kind of panicking and going, oh, chuck him in here and put him in,
Yeah.
And you don't really want that, I reckon. For the second season, it'd be better for, a little bit more cohesion and everyone playing to their forehand, so to speak. I think would really put the show in great stead. But I think, that aside, they've done a fantastic job and the production value's off the charts.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so well shot and edited. Like if you watch it, you'll see like, they put a fair bit of money, I think, in just the production alone,
And it's fun, mate. It's very funny. And I love the way that you think it's athlete mindset. It's that little, how do we get better? I think season 2 will be, as you said, if they keep the same cast, that's really good. Just on the Australia's Got Talent. Yeah, you were robbed, weren't you? Yeah. Oh, there's a robbery.
I don't know. Man.
Like, well, how do those TV shows work? Because it's like you clearly have so many different talents going up for the prize, and whether you're singing or you're making people laugh, dancing, or you're doing something outrageous, like how do you define which one's better? It must be very tough being a comedian amongst, I reckon, a singer. I mean, who won?
It's great.
Who was the winner? Did they
look,
sing?
Nah, I think honestly, mate, I don't know.
When you were out, stop watching.
I stopped watching.
I'm done here.
Yeah, but like it was interesting. Like I think I may have mentioned on a previous podcast with you or something like that, but maybe not, because I think we were maybe discussing off mic before it was locked in. But they had been chasing me for a little while. So with these shows, like the producers will actively scout some people and be like, we think you're a good candidate to audition for Australia's Got Talent. Would you be interested, kind of thing. And for a long time, I was just kind of like, no, I'm not interested. Like, I don't really want to I don't really want to do this. You know, at one point it never really came into fruition, but it's a bit hectic. But like they mentioned one of the judges that was going to be a potential judge. It never actually went ahead, but I kind of was like, I can't really do that because I had a romantic liaison with this person. And I said to the producer, I'm like, mate, I couldn't walk out on the stage because I'd just be saying the whole time, this is not the first time you've judged one of my performances, is it? So there was that. And so that kind of put it on the back burner for a little while. And then like later on, I was just kind of like, you know what? I understand that Australia's Got Talent is more of a TV show than a talent show. Like I kind of understood that I had a role to play. But I may have mentioned before that I don't necessarily love doing stand-up comedy. Like I think it's something that if I put all of my eggs in that basket and really like put my, you know, like all into it, I think I could do some really big things in that space. But I just don't love it like a lot of my peers. Like I see a lot of other stand-up comedians, man, they just can't wait to get on stage next and they're just fucking chomping at the bit to write the next bit. And, you know, that's just not me, man. Like I just, you know, I prefer sketch comedy. I prefer doing like podcasts and random shit like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just wasn't for me, man. But I thought, you know, I should get back out on stage and have a crack. But they wanted me to play a role. Like they wanted me to do the impersonations. They already had a few other comedians who were auditioning for the show. And what made that really difficult for me was like I had to write each performance bespoke for the show and perform it for the first and last time every time I was on stage. And the problem with doing comedy and impersonations is you sort of want to practice it so you know how the audience is going to react. But because I was writing it specifically for the judges and each set was tailored, I couldn't take it to an open mic night because it would have no relevance. Yeah. So like I was literally watching all the performers backstage, man, like the circus performers, the comedians, and they were like so confident, man, and so calm because they were doing their best of. Yes. Like the other comedians were like, you know, I've got an hour of stand up and I've just cherry picked my best 5 minutes. I'm going to go out on stage and fucking kill. And they all killed, you know, most of these guys. And I was sitting back there, man, like literally like shaking. Like
anxious?
Yeah, man, like the worst anxiety you could possibly imagine because there's 3,000 people out there just like roaring and then you've got the sound effects of people getting buzzed off stage, like literally, and like you just hear the judges being like, no shit, you suck, fuck off kind of thing. And yeah, like, I'm just sitting back there like Gollum.
People
like,
crying as they come back?
Mate, people crying, like people just like walking out with their families. And like I was hoping that some of the boys would be able to come up with me and support me, but because it was in Sydney and I'm from Melbourne, like the boys just couldn't be fucked at the end of the day, and I don't blame them. So
they want to wear the sunnies and just come support.
Everyone had a support network, so I'm thinking to myself, man, if I stuff this up here, like I'm gonna be like by myself, like no one consoling me or anything like that. I was just like hectic, man. So
it's hectic.
Yeah.
Courageous stuff as well.
Oh man, it was pretty scary. Like I'm not gonna lie, like just having that uncertainty about how the jokes were gonna fall and just having no support network there at all. I was by myself, you know.
You crushed it though.
Well, I think the first audition went well, like it was really good. And the second one wasn't too bad, but again, like it was just like so many different variables that I haven't been able to be like really broadcast or talk about. Like it was just kind of like when you sign up for these shows, they're like, you got full creative control, you can say whatever you want. But then because it's commercial TV, they also like really look at your scripts and say, I'd rather you didn't say that, and you can't really say that and you don't say that, but they don't tell you that until you sign the release.
Oh.
So like I remember like the night before my semi-final, they were like, we need you to change like half of the script. And so like I'd memorized it to the point of ad nauseum. Like I knew it so well, like back to front. And then I'm trying to like unlearn the script that was in my head and learn the new lines. And I thought some of the new lines weren't as funny as the old lines, and some of the new impersonations they wanted me to do weren't as good as the other impersonations. Like they asked me to put the Boris Johnson impersonation in my semi-final purely because 2 of the judges were from the UK. And I was like, so I'm pandering towards the judges when there's 3,000 people out there.
And millions watching.
But you want me to appease 2 judges. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just so, and it would be tough when you commercial TV, PG, maybe M-rated.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't want to, you know, sort of say anything bad about the show. Like it ultimately, although they did pursue me, it was my decision to go ahead with it. And the producers that I dealt with were some of the most amazing people I've ever met. Like that, I really, you know, can't thank them enough and, you know, sing their praises higher. Like they were actually, you know, I was very trepidatious to do it in the first place because I felt like I had a fair bit to lose. Because, you know, like without sounding like a wanker, I did have more of a social media presence than some of the other contestants. So I thought, far out, I've built this up over 10 years. If it goes really badly, like it could really negatively impact on me.
Yeah.
So I was really scared. That added another layer of fear. So they were really supportive throughout that whole process, and yeah, really, really good. So I can't thank them enough. They were
It's
awesome.
great. And well said, mate. It's yeah, to do what you do, you got to, becoming uncomfortable is fantastic. It's a way of kind of growing and stepping out of your comfort zone, as they say. And then it progresses to the next skit show that you're on now.
Yeah, exactly.
So you never know, like,
Mate,
do you do that? Do you get the next gig? You know what I mean?
So much of this stuff, I think, is just being the right place, right time. Like, it was amazing that, I did this thing on Australia's Got Talent. It finished, and it was kind of like a weird hangover, like afterwards. Like, I finished, go back to the hotel room. I'm not in the grand final. I'm sitting there, like, on the edge of the bed. I can hear, like, fireworks going off in the fucking stadium, and, like, people were getting yeses and shit, and I'm just sitting there going, far out. Like, what do I do now? Like, I'm just kind of like, what's my next move? Like, it's such an anticlimax. You're sitting there and I'm by myself and I'm just looking out the window going, fuck. Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
I've been there. Yeah.
So then it was a bit of a hangover. I came home for a week and didn't do much. And I was just kind of like, have I got depression? Like, what's going on here?
You just lost.
Yeah.
You're
lost.
lost.
Then my phone rang, and it was kind of like, look, they're casting for this new sketch comedy show. They're looking for an impersonator. We decided to put your name forward. We'll see what happens. And yeah, obviously right place, right time. Like, they haven't done a sketch comedy TV show like this, like a full frontal or fast forward. I mean, Kinney was a different show, so I don't put that in the same bracket. Like, it was a sketch show, but it had a star. Troy was the star.
Yeah.
This is like an ensemble cast. No stars, everyone's kind of equal.
Yeah.
So, like, they haven't had a show like that in, 20 years. So,
Mate,
like,
it's
the
great.
fact that I just came off Australia's Got Talent as an impersonator, they're looking for an impersonator, it's insane timing.
It is.
So I'm very fortunate.
Mate, it's great. And I think you're it suits you as well. Like,
Yeah.
being on TV and a little bit of acting.
Yeah,
and, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
like just watching the short videos. It's like you said, you don't want to do stand up. It's kind of a really nice one to sneak into. Like, I kind of
100%.
think you do this, you add it to your resume, as they say, or your CV. Anything's possible, especially like with these, like with Hollywood and all the movies. Like, if you can get a couple of skits in a big film,
Mate, 100%.
that's the next. I don't know. I feel like that could be you, because you can do so much.
Mate, the thing is, like, I don't think I'm a good actor necessarily, but I do know that I'm inherently like a good character actor. Like, I'm not like a real trained theatre sports type operator, but I think, when it comes to immersing myself in a character, which I haven't had many opportunities to do yet, I know that I can deliver some high quality stuff, but I just need the right role to present itself to me where I can really immerse myself in like a really zany, completely out of the wall type thing.
When you watch a TV series, like, I think Entourage is something that I used to love, or, what else is there? Ballers. They're kind of my types, but there's always a role in there that you see someone do something. Even like all Adam Sandler's movies,
Adam Sandler.
He's got his crew, but there's always just one scene where a bloke does something and you're like, oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Then he'll pop up in his next movie. Like, that's something I reckon, you definitely could do some of these little skits.
I'd love to, like, following in the footsteps of Eric Banner would be nice. Like, he started on a show very similar to the one I'm doing now. And, over the course of, I don't know how many years he was on the show, he sort of started progressing into acting and stuff like that. I'd love to do something similar.
Have you spoken? Do you know him well?
I see him all the time. He's a local. So I always see him.
You should reach out and get a coffee.
I know. But,
Just
mate,
do
like,
it.
I just feel bad because he's always there, mate. He doesn't look like he wants to be bothered. Like, he's always got, mate, he's got his sunnies on. He looks so staunch. And he's, like, he's just... Mate.
I reckon it'd be a mutual respect, though, for someone like you. If he sat down with you and you said, I'm doing this.
I think so.
I reckon it's different to someone else coming
just
up.
waiting for my right time, But it's interesting. We do have an interesting link, and I want to mention it to him when I see him. Apparently, my misso dated his son in like primary school or something. So I'm going to open up with that one. I reckon he'd be a bit stumped by that. I'd be like
rattled.
I'd be like, your son, mate. My misso dated him. How are you, mate? Elliot Loney, nice to meet you.
You know, it's stump.
I don't know. I reckon he'd be a bit rattled. He'd be like, fuck, I
That's a good one. Rattle him at the start and then ask him for a gig in Hollywood.
I reckon he would be a bit rattled. He'd be like, gee, this kid's weird, but all right, I'll give him the time of day.
Fucking funny.
Yeah,
mate. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I went on Instagram last night.
Yeah.
We asked some questions. So I thought I'd get a couple.
So how many of those did you write yourself?
Mate, I must say the Aces community is unbelievable. I can't thank the Osmerican Aces, especially the Instagram page enough for all the questions they asked. We had like I don't know, 30 or 40 for Aaron Sipos.
Wow.
But last night was disgraceful for me. I only got 3.
Mate, I had a feeling. I only
got 3 questions. Like, what's going on, Aces?
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what.
Oh, my God. And one of them, this is the first one from Riley Botchell. Is he circumcised? That's the first question.
You're absolutely pulling my leg, are you?
I'm going 3 questions, and the first one is he circumcised.
Oh, fucking hell, mate. That's none of your business, mate. What's his name? Rolly Polly?
Yeah, Rolly Bockle.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Rolly Bockles. Oh, bloody hell. That's funny.
22 Nicholas James. Love his work. Will he have another crack at SNL?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a great question, I guess. I'd love to, man. I think, you know, this kind of sketch comedy show that I'm in now is great for the show reel, for a show like that. I would like to have another crack at SNL, but I don't know, like I'm sort of uncertain about like what the future holds for that show. I know it's a crazy institution and they've got an enormous funding and it's massive, but you know, it's changed a lot over the last decade or so, I think, in terms of the cast and some of the sketches and stuff they're pushing out. It depends on a few variables. I'd like to wait and see how this show goes as well. Like, you know, I'd rather stay in Australia if I can, but you know, I think like anyone who's successful in comedy or acting goes to the States at some point. I'd love to get over there at some point, but
we need to do a tour. Like we were just chatting, I want to get over there for, you know, a stint with NBA finals or an NFL season kickoff or even their off season.
Yeah.
I know Cocky and the boys will be playing. I think we were targeting New York last time. That's around October. Is it November, October?
I think so. September as well. Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I think it's a launch of NFL around there.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And if you're doing some comedy at the same time, I mean, we'll be bringing.
Oh, mate, it'd be hilarious.
We'll be rolling up. You'll definitely have 6 blokes there every night.
Well, it's funny. I know a few guys over there have done really well. Like, there's a bloke over there who I've been in contact with a little bit called Giannis Pappas. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's fucking funny, mate. Like,
they all are.
His stand-up special's amazing if you want to check it out. It's on YouTube. But Giannis Pappas is the name, and he's been on Rogan a few times recently. Like, he's good mates with Joe, and he kills it in the stand-up scene over there. So I'd love to link up with some of these guys and just kind of, you know, go gig with them and just kind of see what the scene's like over there. It'd be awesome. But
is our Aussie humour hard for Americans to catch on? Like I saw something the other day where Aussie humour's just, they don't get it. And
look, I think like Aussie humour is probably more aligned with the British sense of humour, that heavy sarcasm type stuff. And like, you know, like the American humour does sometimes fall flat a little bit sometimes. Like I know that Louis C.K., I think he came out on a podcast recently and he said,
I started laughing. I was thinking about something else.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're on, mate. There's a lack of respect.
I'm looking at you, my teeth, my big choppers are popping out. And I'm thinking about this segment where you don't want to go. I thought I've melted.
Don't give it away, mate. But yeah, so Louis C.K. mentioned on this podcast that I think one of the worst gigs he reckons he's ever done was in Melbourne at the Comics Lounge, or one of those establishments. It might not be the Comics Lounge because it's a bloody fantastic place, one of the best.
Yes.
But it's nothing to do with the lounge. I think the lounge is the best comedy venue in Australia. If you're listening and you want to see comedy, go to the Comics Lounge.
What location's that?
Errol Street in Melbourne. It's unbelievable, mate. It's so.
Is it
good.
all year round?
Yeah, all year round.
So you just roll up.
You roll up, mate. You know, you can get one of these passes, which gives you like sort of, you can get a gold pass, which I don't exactly know the terminology, but you can go to like X amount of gigs throughout the year. It's unbelievable, mate.
Yeah,
it's such.
Good. I wouldn't mind checking it out because we always did this stuff when we travel.
Bring a whole bunch of mates and 100%. Get down there because they have some of the biggest names in comedy rock down. Like they literally have had like Joe Rogan and, you know, like Chris Rock and some of the biggest names in comedy just roll down there, you know, when they're doing their tours. Jim Jeffries, I've seen him there. It's great. But I think because Louis C.K. is used to those US crowds, apparently he went down there and he just bombed. Yeah, like Louis C.K., like apparently the MC's like, here he is, like get him out, and he just tanked. Yeah. So, you know, it's funny, like and
when they tank, do they walk off the stage like, oh, it's like, next one, don't worry about it?
Yeah, look, I don't know. Like, I think that's sort of the mentality to have. Like, you can't be a comedian and escape it. Like, you know, like everyone's tanked. I've tanked. I know, like all the best. I've seen the best of the best tank right in front of my eyes, you know. And like once you're subjected to the stand-up comedy space and you start watching shitloads of comedy, you realize that even the very best fall short sometimes. Yeah. Like it's funny, like, you know, I've been to gigs and seen some of the biggest names in Australian comedy, even some of the biggest names in international comedy like perform and they like fall flat and you think, oh fuck, it's not just me. Like everyone does it, you know. You have it's like a sport, you know. You have good days where you're lighting it up and then you have days where you fucking can't.
When you're put yourself, I want you to really break this down, but you're on stage, right?
Yeah.
And you're tanking.
Yeah.
What's going through your head? And are you trying to shorten your skit, or you're like, oh my God, or is it like, I'm going to double down here?
It depends, like you sort of comes through osmosis as you get a little bit older. In stand up, you start to like understand it a little bit more and respect the craft and respect everyone else's time. I think like when I first started out, like you see like a lot of guys in the open mic scene who are fucking tanking, and they just want to get their time out. So they'll go overtime, or they'll just keep pushing even when they're bombing. And the other more senior comedians have been around the traps a little bit. It'll be like, fucking newbie retard. Like, you got no idea. You know what I mean? Like they get really upset because it's like they're on the clock and, you want to push through. So, like I think now for me personally, if I'm doing new bits, like say I take 5 minutes of new material to an open mic night and I jump up there and I want to try it for the first time. If I'm starting to really tank, I might cut it to 4 minutes or something. You know what I mean? Just out of respect to the other comics and be like, I don't want to like overstay my welcome here.
Dampen the mood.
Yeah, dampen the mood. And, you want to, it's exactly it. Like there's an energy and you don't want to bring the vibe down too much.
Mate, I still never forget when I think I told you last time when I went to this comedy gig, and it was just that they had like 8 and the best was last, and the mood was getting worse. And I think who was up 5th was like a...
Do you remember who it was?
No, I don't, because it was like just one of those Tuesday nights.
Was it in Australia?
It was in Perth. Yeah, it was in Fremantle.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And this lady, she come on and she couldn't turn the crowd because everyone was pretty flat. It was only a small crowd. Yeah. So she just started potting some people in the crowd, and it wasn't working, and it made it worse. And then the last guy actually was really good. He's the main man, but he realized that the room was like zapped, and he actually just started like just taking the piss out of like the room and the energy, and it kind of brought half of us back. We all left and like, wow, that would have been a tough night.
Yeah. No, mate, it's really brutal. Really brutal. Like it can be completely energy related and stuff like that. And once you lose that energy and once you lose the crowd, it can be really difficult to get them back. And like the longer you're on stage, I've found personally, like if, you're doing 5-10 minutes, it's all right. But if you're on stage for 15, 20, I think the longest gig I've done is about 45 minutes. You start to realize like, far out, I'm working here. Like, you feel the energy of the crowd, you're riding it like a wave. You're like, oh, I'm up here, or like far out, they've dipped here. Like you're thinking all the time, like, how do I get them back? Like, it's pretty full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you tell a story and you're like, my punchline, I just did my punchline, and they're still looking at you. You're like, oh, I got
like you're constantly on. It's so like, it's such a, I don't even know the word for it, like an adrenaline pumping sort of experience. Yeah.
Oh, well said. I mean, again, anyone out there that's a comedian or anyone that stands on the stage and sings or whatever,
it's tough.
It's
you get enormous, like I've got an enormous amount of respect for anyone who just gets on stage, like really, whether it be like, as you said, like a singer or a stand-up, like I'm like, far out, man, good on you. Like,
and how harsh are the critics that don't,
so
like
harsh.
They just sit there and expect probably the best of the best every time. Like, and the word will be like, shit.
Well, the funny thing is as well, man, like it's like
it was all right. It's like, come on.
You look at some of the articles and the reviews and stuff that some of these critics write, and they've never even done stand-up before, and they're critiquing stand-up comedians and saying stuff like that. And, it's the same thing with Australia's Got Talent. Like David Williams was a judge, and like, and Shane Jacobson, who've got a lot of experience in comedy, and they're guys that I really respect. So when they're giving me advice or, giving him feedback, I'm like, yeah, respect. But then like, Alicia Dixon, all credit to her, she's very famous and she's done well in singing. But when she's offering me advice on fucking comedy, mate, I'm just like, I don't care. Sorry, but what have you done?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, have you ever done a stand-up gig? Well, shut up.
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
It's like you listen to the people that have been in your industry and you respect. Like, I mean, you played AFL footy.
It's like a coach, The coach hasn't played at the level, and you got to get there. You're like, mate, 100%. I've just done fucking 6 efforts. Yeah, but you got to get there. I'm like, mate, you got no idea.
If you had like some Bosnian fucking volleyball player coming down to training with the Giants and he's telling you how to kick straight, you'd be like, mate, what are you talking about? I'm right, thanks.
No, it's well said.
Yeah,
and that's why like someone that's played or experienced the same thing, it's their advice is greater.
100%.
Kizza, the Tee It Up Golf podcast, the great man, is Nick Morey still teaching him how to smash huge kick serves?
Nick Morey. Yeah, that's very, very funny. Yeah, look, absolutely. He was one of my childhood coaches. I coached with him for a bit as well, late last year or early last year. Yeah, he's a great man, Nick Moray. He runs a tight ship down there. And
what I call him, Maury.
Yeah, Maury, Nick Maury. Yeah, if you're a tennis fan, I highly recommend getting down there and just enrolling your kid in Moray tennis.
The kick serve. I don't know how you like the way you. I mean, I'd love you to teach me how to serve because I reckon I'm very competitive.
Yeah,
but the serve is so weak. It gets me angry. Like I know I can't put much on it, and when you just start missing so many serves, you're like, I'm just going to start going for everything and just double fault. But
100%.
Yeah, I almost don't want to serve because I'm, you know what I mean? I'd rather receive.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
No, you just gave it away. So he told you we were supposed to talk about that.
Yeah.
But he's giving it away here on the podcast here.
That is fucking
Tommy
funny.
Sheridan, campers a row of 10s. You can see right here. Look at that. He's blushing, you can tell.
Trying to find this fucking read.
Yeah,
Now, mate,
what are you looking for?
Oh no, I'm just looking for this thing. Now, mate, you know
What's he talking about?
you don't come on this podcast and go home empty-handed.
Now before you get into this, mate, every single time I go to this podcast, you give me the worst hats. You give me the hats that no one else wants. Now every single time I've been on here,
I've got the brand new RIXX hat, mate.
Now that's not too bad, but mate, some of the hats you've given me have been the worst colours. I think last time you gave me a magenta hat, and before that it was bright purple or something. And I was like, thanks, mate, but gee whiz, like I don't know, mate, it's pretty far fetched. Like I was wearing a beige New York hat the other day at the Comics Lounge, and this chick's like, why are you wearing that hat? Like, that's what she said to me. I was like, I don't know, Tommy Sheridan gave it to me from American Aces. Yeah, far out, like.
That's a big shout out to our friends Caps. They are the home of headwear. Unfortunately, I've given you the wrong colour.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are great hats.
Hats.
But you've given me the worst colour every time. And I think it's purposeful, isn't it? Like Cocky's walking away with these beautiful crisp white black ones. And I've got like a magenta or a piss yellow colour. I'm like, mate, what am I going to do with this?
The best is last time we did the I got you the Phoenix, got the Phoenix kit for Cocky, so he got the jersey and you got the beanie. You go, what the fuck is this?
What beanie was it again?
The Phoenix Suns.
That's right, Phoenix Suns beanie.
And you were like, what the fuck is this? I go, sorry, mate.
Oh, mate,
tight budgets
so
around
funny.
here.
That is so funny.
Now, mate, I've got to get you another pair of RIXX. I don't know how many pairs. If you're not wearing these around Aussie Open next year, I'm giving up.
Yeah.
I'm giving up.
Okay,
right?
look, give us a gander. What are they? What model are they?
We've got the Soho.
Yeah. Well, I saw, mate, the other day you mentioned that Margot Robbie was wearing your specs. Like, you're obviously killing it with the RIXX Eyewear.
Well, back in the day, that's what happened, and everyone, that was the clip the boys put up.
Yeah.
Quite a long time ago. I said and messaged the boys, jumped on their podcast. I said, geez, you've gone hard with the Margot clip. They go, yeah, everyone loves it. And I'm like, all right, we'll run with it. And I thought Jason Tatum or OBJ might have been a better. It's like, no,
it's good though, mate. It's good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So they're good, Sonny.
When Margot rocked them back in the day, it was it was a special moment. And as I said on that podcast. Like,
but again, even with the RIXX Eyewear, you've given me some questionable questions. But
I've given you
these ones.
I've given you because you like the bigger frame. So I thought, enough's enough. I'm going for the ones that I like.
Mate, this is beautiful. So, I can see here. Pull them out. Let's have a look at these. I'll put them on right now.
Soho dark green crystal.
These put the hoe in so. Have a look at these bad boys. Have a look at that. Bloody hell. How are you?
Do you like them?
I don't know. How am I looking? Be honest, mate. Yeah, I'm looking pretty schmick. Look at that. Whiz. I look like Ringo Starr. Unbelievable.
You are always looking good, my friend.
Look at this, mate. This is unbelievable. These specs are awesome.
You can pull the aviators. You can pull
mate,
the
these are gone. These are no good, I reckon. I'm going to start rocking these.
Oh, you have to. They look.
I'm posing for a photo for the socials as we speak, if our listeners are wondering what's going on.
They actually fit you so well. I'm actually stoked with the way I've styled you.
Yeah, and I've got a very strange pill too. Like, it's not really... It's not designed for sunnies. Like, mostly it falls off and I don't know.
Oh, mate, your head and rig is designed for anything. Yeah. In fact, your rig's designed to take it off.
Ladies, welcome to Hunkmania. I'm on my review show in Australia. Ladies, do you want to see a flaccid cock? Oh, I can't hear you. Do you want to see a flaccid cock? It's only as thick as a Coke can, but boy, is it long. Is it long? He puts the thunder in down under. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Woo.
Yeah, hang on. I think are these glasses, are these prescription, mate?
That we can make prescription.
They haven't fucked up my eyes, have they? Am I all right? RIXX Eyewear, get a pair, bloody good. All good, mate? 2020, is it? Here we go. Give me a cricket bat. Bit of T20 cricket.
Anyone listening there, Elliot's put his eyes, crossed them over. Oh, far out. You are a very
the
funny
RIXX
man.
effect.
Now, our segment here is RIXX. Our segment here is... The bloke's got the absolute giggles. Mate, more, I think I might have abs. The first time I can feel him tense it up.
Mate, look at that. The body fat percentage matches ATAR score, about 2-3%. About the same thing we got going on there.
I can't even get this RIXX segment out.
Unbelievable, mate. Yeah,
oh, mate. So
here we go.
You're rocking this Soho. Anyone out there that wants a pair, obviously, use the discount code ACES at rixeyewear.com.au.
ACES?
Yep, discount code.
Discount code.
20% off and free express shipping.
And yeah, now I was taking the piss, obviously, with the cross-side, ladies and gentlemen, before, but these are tremendous specs. Actually, I'm being serious. These are the best. These are the best pair of RIXX I've received from
Thanks,
you.
mate. They are the brand new Soho.
I think the last ones were pink or they
gave you the
square.
I guess gave you the biggest. And now leave them on for me, great man, because I need to ask you a question.
Yeah.
The last pair, I was just like, I can't. I gave you 6 pairs. I don't know what style you want, but I've gone straight to our newest.
It's called me Big Man as well. Fuck me.
You hate being called legend and big man.
Yeah, legend, big man.
Well, mate, look at
now,
the barrel.
big man, fucking keep him on, all right? Big man. Now, tiny cock, keep him on, all right? Now, hang on, big man. Let me just think of a more condescending thing to back that up, okay? Big man. Now, come on, squirt.
RIXX and retirement. I've finally got to this. I'm sweating. You're making me sweat.
Oh, that's good.
Gee whiz.
That's good.
RIXX and retirement, mate. So when it all...
Last time you ever been to Lou before the podcast, mate. A bit early for that.
The Vindaloo.
Yeah. Very spicy, mate. It'll get you every time.
Oh,
we are in a van, though.
What we used to say in cricket, swinging like a dunny door on curry night.
Exactly.
Have a look at this bloke. He's swinging like a dunny door on carry
I know
night.
you're rushing to get into this, but I do have to mention, we are in a van, ladies and gentlemen. Like Tommy Sheridan, every time we do this podcast, he rolls up in a van. And one of the funniest things happened this morning. He said, you'd be out the front at 10 a.m. So I rock up like chipper, 9:50, roll at the front. There was a van. And I roll up to the van and I start pulling on the door. And I swear to God, this happened this morning. I'm pulling on the door and I'm like, let me in the van. I go to the front, this bloke wearing a high vis. It wasn't you. Another bloke wearing a high vis. And he goes, mate, I'm a courier. I'm a courier. And I go, let me in the van. And he goes, I'm a courier, mate. Are you right? You got the right place? Oh, it's pretty funny, man. I was just sitting there like, oh, shit, no, I don't actually,
Imagine what's going through their head.
Mate, I don't know. He must have thought I was a freak. It was so weird, man. I'm just pulling at the door. I'm like, Tommy!
Imagine what's going through their head.
100%. He's like, mate, I'm just trying to get this fruit and veg to South Melbourne Market. He's like, I've got this bloke yanking on the door.
And you're going, I'm here for a podcast.
Yeah,
and you're going, what
most people are trying to avoid vans. I'm chopping at the bit to get in there. I'm like, let me in here. Come on. Mate, it was the number one thing that my mum told me when I was a little boy, like avoid vans. And here I am, like, so keen to get the RIXX Eyewear on. I'm like, let me in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
needed that.
shit. Yeah,
Needed that.
that's good, mate.
Need you on. I need to get you. Why don't you just come on every day?
No, absolutely.
I just need
100%.
that laugh. I haven't had laugh that over a while.
It's good fun, We just want people to have a bit of laugh. Mate, hopefully next time, mate, we'll have more than 3 questions.
I can't believe the 3 questions. And here I am messaging, mate. They can't wait to have you back on, which is true. We did a survey. Elliot Loney.
Wow.
I'm going, all right, well then 3 questions.
That's amazing, mate. I've been stitched up there,
I think we both have, but I think, it is what it is.
To be fair, though, I do have the theory. I reckon a lot of people have like short memories and shit, eh? Like, I reckon, like, if you're not putting content out constantly on
every day,
like some of these TikTokers, man, they're making like 40 videos a day. I'm like, fucking hell.
Good work rate.
Yeah, bloody hell.
It's hard to, you want quality. Is like, I'd imagine it's just hard to keep quality and quantity at the same. You kind of.
Well, mate, I had a nightmare about that the other day. My misso, like, she woke up the other day and said, I had a nightmare that you cheated on me. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry about that. You know, like, it's a tough one. And I said, I had a nightmare too. She's like, what's your dream about? And it was a weird dream, mate. It had I reckon it had a real serious meaning. Now, this is going to reveal how strange I am as a bloke, but I don't care. I'm going to just elaborate on this story. I had a dream about this sweet potato, right? No, sorry, giving away the whole story. It was a dream about a potato, right? Just a normal white potato. And he was fucking livid and he was throwing shit. And I was in this dream. I'm like, what's wrong, mate? You all right? And he's like, mate, no one gives a fuck about me anymore. Everyone only cares about my brother, sweet. I only care about my brother, sweet. No one gives a fuck about me. And I'm like, mate, you're still good. Like, I still have you sometimes. I go down to a spud bar and get an all potato. Mate, I get around you that. And he's like, no, everyone only cares about sweet. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you would know all about it. No one gives a fuck about you anymore. It's all about TikTok. It's all about TikTok. And I was like, oh, shit. And I woke up. Fucking sweating. Yeah, mate, it's full on.
That is fucked up.
I was like, shit, mate. Got to get out. You got to start making TikTok.
But you told this to your missus after she
Yeah. She's like, so weird. He's like, that's the weirdest dream I ever had.
Oh, you are fucking funny. Now, chuck them on so we can get this segment out the way.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, mate.
The RIXX and retirement segment. Where would Elliot Loney love to finish up? I guess, you know, whenever you want to retire, you've got that much cash.
Yep.
We'll start 2 questions. We'll start with the good positive one. Where's the location Elliot Loney would take his RIXX and retire, and why?
Oh, yeah. I'd probably take my RIXX and retire somewhere in the Maldives or potentially Bahamas, you know, just sit on this nice little banana lounge, Rastafari music playing in the background, you know, and just watch the sunset roll away and maybe go for a swim with a couple of moray eels and, you know those little, like, I don't even know if they're real, but you know how you see sometimes those TikToks or those reels come up on Instagram with like the little like music and stuff, but they're like little like fireflies, but in the water.
Yeah.
Gee, you'd love to immerse yourself in that, wouldn't you?
Oh, you would.
Yeah,
The Maldives is special. I think you're looking at 30 grand a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Retiring there and you cashed up, why not?
So it'll never happen to me, but ideally that would be great.
Afterpay.
Yeah.
Pickleball.
Correct.
Invest in the right team. Now, we're going to flip this one because I just thought this is a first. RIXX and where you don't want to retire.
Yeah.
Where's the one location in the world where you just don't want to retire?
Melton.
You don't want to be near the harness track?
Nah, I don't want to be in Melton. Yeah, I'd be I'd be so upset. I'd actually put it on. I reckon I'd be really dialing up the dementia if I was in Melton in a retirement home. I'd be wheeling into my fight stance. I don't care what age I'm at. Like I'd be clocking nurses left and right if I was in Melton.
Get off me. Get off me. I don't belong here.
Have you had a bad experience in Melton?
Oh, not really. I just don't like the sound of it.
That is fun.
I don't even know if I've ever been there.
They are yours,
thanks,
my
mate.
friend. RIXX
Unbelievable.
Eyewear.
RIXX Eyewear. Here we are.
We love your support, mate. We know you wear the RIXX all the time. And mate, you got the hat as well. You put that on your...
chuck it here,
so
mate.
if you want to put it on your pill, hopefully it fits because I've got a skinny head.
Oh, no, I have a small head as well.
There
It's
you
good
go.
that it's better colour than usual. Hang on, let me just get
It's
the back
green
on.
on green.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Bloody hell.
Oh,
Look at that.
You are on. So I think you've got the hat a bit tangled there.
What do you mean?
Hasn't even got it off.
Oh, shit.
Now it's on.
Hang on, yeah. There we go. Hang on. Oh, gee whiz.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not as skinny as mine, is it?
Yeah, look at that. There we go. Look at that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Get a box.
Now, that's a good hat colour. That's a nice
Mate,
pair of sunnies.
beautiful
I
hat.
feel like I've ticked the box the third time round.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. No, this is way better. Like I was mentioning the cocky last time when we were on the podcast. I'm like, gee whiz, he gave you some good merch, didn't he? But have a look what I got. Got a bloody cum rag and a pair of pink shades.
We don't even have any pink shades. I might bring some out. Call them the Loneys.
Yeah. Gee whiz.
Now, our friends at Milwaukee Tools.
wow.
Hey, you're a handy man. Do you get in the gun? I know you're a handy man.
I'm a handy hindrance. I'll tell you that much. I don't think I've got a single sort of, I don't know, industrial bone in my body. But,
well, mate, you do now.
Yeah,
You don't come on this this show anymore and go home with just a lopsided cap, the colour of your piss. You get the Lifestyle Power Pack here from our friends at Milwaukee Tools. It's got everything you need. It's literally perfect for going away when you want to camp, fish, or simply enjoy the outdoors over a period away with the Dale. What's included, mate, is a pruning saw and contractor bag, an LED lantern and floodlight. Might be one of them things for a date when you go down the beach there. You got the compact blower, mate, blow all the leaves in the backyard. You got the batteries, you got the charger, you got everything in this pack. So huge shout out to Milwaukee Tools. They're obviously the best in the business. Nothing but heavy duty, just driven to outperform, a bit like you on the workbench.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Look at that.
Driven to outperform. For those that want to check this out, head to the website, milwaukeetools.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty. Now, mate, our segment here is always
nothing but heavy duty.
Give it to me again.
Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
I need you to say this one next time.
Yeah, mate,
they are awesome. Thank you to them because this is an extremely
thank you, Milwaukee,
valuable pack, especially for someone that's wants a little kit. Are you a handyman?
Look, mate, not really. I wouldn't say I'm very handy. Yeah, that's probably the best word for it. As I said, a hindrance man, maybe perhaps a distraction man. But look, I'll give it a crack. I wouldn't mind. I think it would make a good comedy sket me with the Milwaukee Tools.
I reckon I'd love to.
I think I'd love to, have a crack at it. But yeah, this looks. Pull it up on the table. Let's have a look at it. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. What have we got here? We've got a mini chainsaw. We've got a leaf. Is that a leaf blower?
You got a leaf blower. You got everything. Blower? You got the blower. You got
included in here. We got a battery. We got
it's got everything that you need.
Contractor bag, charger, compact blower. And a saw, pruning saw.
Yeah, you got the pruning saw there. So if you want to cut down some trees or you're in Melton and you want to just fuck shit up, you want to escape the nursing home later in life, mate. There's your way out.
Well, the pruning saw will come in handy to cut the Thanasi down to size if he gets a bit too big for his boots. So I'll keep that in mind when I was just about to say,
leading in, who is your Milwaukee tool in your life? Who's the biggest tool that you know?
Oh, look, I mean, I'm going to say this purely because I know the great man would say it about me as well. I do love him unconditionally. He's probably my best mate. If I had a wedding, he probably would be the best man at my wedding. But geez, a big tool, Thanasi Kokonakis, I'll tell you that much. He's gonna have to be my Milwaukee tool of the week, I reckon, just because I know that he'd do it for me. He'd stitch me up too, so I'm going to stitch him up live on the American Aces show here with Tommy Sheridan. He's my Milwaukee tool of the week, and he's going to hate me for this.
I love it. What's the most toolish thing he's ever done?
Oh, gee, that's a great question. Great question. Oh, this is a ripping story, but I'm not sure if I can divulge this on the podcast.
Yeah. It's just too good.
It's too good. But look, long story short, I won't go into the full logistics of it, but basically he's responsible for my plumbing at my house being completely, how do I say, incapacitated. And he cost my old man 60 grand in the recovery process. and it's a running gag, and he gets very, very annoyed when I bring it up. Well, let's let everyone know about it. We talk about it all the time as a gag, but
60 grand.
Yeah, I always make the joke. I'm like, mate, you owe me 60 grand. So sometimes, when he's like, pissed off, he's going to pay for a coffee or something, I'll be like, mate, we just had to tell you owe me 60 grand as it is. It's a long story. Basically, like, because it's a subdivided property, they had to dig underneath the house and excavate the driveway and go right towards the back of the place. And so it was a huge process, mate.
Jesus, Grotty, eat the night before.
Oh, mate, it's not really what you think. I can't go into details of it because I don't want to throw him under a bus that hard. No, I've already thrown him under a bus as much as it is.
Let's leave it there.
Mate, he owes me 60 grand and I'm happy to put that in.
There you go. The nasty Kokonakis. The cock, the Milwaukee tool. Oh, that is just driven out the form.
I can't wait to see Cocky Cocky on your podcast next because I know if you're still doing this Milwaukee Tool a week,
they're here for the long haul.
mate, Cocky is going to throw me under the biggest bus. I know he will.
When's he back in Melbourne?
I'm not sure. Probably for the Grand Prix, I reckon. And if he is, you got to try and get him on the show because I know that once he sees this, I'm going to cop it more than you'd ever believe. Because the thing about Thanasi, mate, when you fight fire with it, he fights fire harder. So
that is so
he
good.
will throw me under a big bus, but it's all love.
That is all love. And I tell you what, it's all love here, mate. I can't thank you enough for coming on the pod.
Mate, no worries.
You come back anytime you want. It's you're nothing but human, mate. I love seeing you. We just can't stop laughing when we see each other.
Good gags.
I hope you've just thanks for your time. All the best with the series. Obviously, you've done it. You've got it in the can, and it's coming out.
9 more episodes every Tuesday night.
6 more by the time this comes out.
6 more by the time.
Every Tuesday night, 7:30 prime time.
But I believe, look, I wouldn't
on 7,
but I wouldn't be surprised if they change the time because they're competing with MAFS and Survivor.
Yep.
So I saw the ratings come out yesterday, and I think it did all right. Maybe 400,000 people tuned in for the first step or something, but which is pretty good on 7, but still lagging behind MAFS and I think Survivor. So I think that they might change the time just to help with that because I can't see anything beating MAFS. Everyone watches it. I don't watch it, but I heard it.
Yeah, no disrespect to MAFS. Oh, you couldn't pay me.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I just can't stand that stuff.
Look, I'm the same, but I know that people, all my mates watch it sometimes.
All the people that watch it go, it's so bad.
Yeah, but they can't watch it.
It's so good.
Yeah, they can't take their eyes off it. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're all different.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm more of a sporty kind of dude, but that stuff. A bit of comedy is great.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, it's great. I've got so much respect for the 7 Network and Helium Productions for actually giving a show like We Interrupt This Broadcast a run because, like I said, we haven't had an ensemble camaraderie generated sketch comedy show like this in 15 years, 20 years. So, shows like this back in the day launched the careers of Eric Banner and some of those superstars. So, to be
what was the other ones? My folks, our family went to Thank God You're Here. Remember that one?
Thank God You're Here.
That was a good one. We went and watched it live. I remember as a kid. It was really,
amazing.
Really funny.
Yeah,
and I was only, young and it was, very relatable. And then I've been stuck on, I was actually on TikTok the other night for the first time in a long time, stuck in the, what do you call it when you're just stuck scrolling?
The vortex.
They got me in the vortex. Oh, I was stuck. Whose line is it anyway? Someone posted all the best bits of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
And I reckon I watched 45 minutes straight of just pure gold. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that show hasn't been around for ages.
Yeah.
Comedy, it's great. We need it. We need a laugh. And I've seen snippets of what you've done already, mate. It's very funny. And you make me laugh anyway. So when I see you being real professional and playing your role perfectly, it's great humor.
It's funny, mate. Look, I think as the show progresses, I wasn't in the first episode much, but I know that they sort of got me involved after they've already filmed for a couple of weeks. So I think as the show progresses, I'll be in a few more sketches. There was, I think, even the Survivor sketch that they did last night or on Tuesday night, I was supposed to be the host of it, but I got COVID during shooting, so I had to recast a couple of things, and but. Yeah, the core cast does a great job. There's so much talent in the show, and I think as the show progresses, hopefully they do get a second season because I think if we do get a second run at it, I think it'll be even better than the first.
How many people in the actual casting? Because I can only imagine the logistics around this would be a nightmare.
Look, I think in the core cast, there's probably about 8 or so.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of supporting guys like myself and a few others. But I think as, if we get a second season, who knows? There might be more core casts. There might be less, there might be, more, as I said, more camaraderie, I think it's good to have not necessarily a core cast and a supporting cast. I think it's better just to have everyone as a team.
Yeah.
Work, I think
collaborating together. To get a better outcome, which is more viewership, better quality product.
And really, divide the airtime equally amongst everyone and make sure that everyone's, as I said earlier, playing to their forehand. Once the writer's going to get a handle on, this bloke's good at this, or this chick's really good at doing that, this guy's really good at this, he's going to be the character guy or the impression guy or whatever, and you sort of, start handballing so they can kick a goal every time.
Yeah, it's great, mate. Well, all the best. Thank you so much for coming on.
No worries.
It's great to be here. And, mate, I'll let you sign off because I know the impersonation is what we love and we haven't done, but you can sign off.
Impersonation list out.
Yeah, is there any new ones there?
We got the Milwaukee Tool. Gordon Ramsay's right there. We got the Milwaukee Tool here.
Gordon loves his Milwaukee Tools.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Right, Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay, right.
He's getting the cobwebs out
I
here.
got to get the cobwebs out. It's been a while since I've done it. I got to really zone in. What the fuck? What the fuck? Right, okay. Yeah, okay, tough guy. Yeah, all right, yeah. So here we have the Milwaukee Lifestyle M12 3-piece power pack. Yeah, basically, this promotional pack was created for those heading away to camp, fish, or simply enjoy the outdoors over the Christmas, New Year's break. Yeah, okay. What's included? M12 6 pruning saw and a contractor bag. Yeah, okay. M12 LED lantern floodlight. M12 compact blower. It gets even better. What the fuck? What the fuck? 2 times M12 TM6 MP 8 MP batteries and a charger. How much is it worth? It's worth, what the fuck? It's a bargain. $719. That's amazing. Unbelievable value there, mate. That's fucking fantastic. That's fucking amazing. Unbelievable. I'll round it out with a little bit of Morgan Freeman before I leave you hanging there, Tommy.
I thought you were leaving me hanging
A little
there,
bit
Morgan.
of Milwaukee M12 fuel. Reminds me of my friend Danny Dufresne. The finest tool shed in all the land. The finest tool set, not shed. Fuck. I don't know, mate. Maybe there's a couple more in there we can whip out, but
Yeah, Conor McGregor's just
Conor McGregor's not
always the
bad. But there's
go-to.
a few bloody ones that are a bit rusty. I need to listen. You know what helps when I listen to the voice before I do it sometimes. But maybe a bit of a. I mean, if we're talking about Milwaukee, maybe we just do a bit of Matthew McConaughey. This is one of the finest tool sets I've ever seen. We got the Milwaukee M12 fuel driven to outperform. It's a fantastic tool set. Now this tool set's not necessarily great. It's not necessarily fantastic, but it's better than both those things. It's all right. Get yourself some of these finest tools in all the land. All right. There we go. A bit of Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, great man.
Yeah, no,
I can have you. You know, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get you back on.
Yeah.
And I've always admired. Remember Trevor Marmalade when it was a footy show back in the day,
yeah,
and he
ripping.
just sat in the
Yeah,
corner
he's
and
so good.
he just would just chime in. So what
Yeah.
I want to do is I want to get a couple of boys on. They're going to talk about their footy soon, and I'm going to get you on as well. And we're just going to. I'll just run it, but then you just chime in and I can see that working again, and I reckon that is you. You are.
Yeah.
You just sit in the corner and just pop blokes, and I reckon that dimension. Everyone. I don't think they've seen it for a while because growing up, geez, Trevor was the man.
Yeah, mate. It's unfortunate, you know, but I think with like this political correctness era and stuff, you know, political correctness I think is, you know, in some respects probably a good thing, but it's not a good thing for comedy.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
Like
very hard to be perfect, isn't it? And as a comedian,
you know,
so.
like I think, you know, comedy at its best is very politically incorrect. You know, so I think, it'd be great to see some of that larrikinism and that looseness come back to.
We're going to bring it back.
Yeah,
right
well, I think we
on
should
us
bring it
regular
back. You know,
basis.
people need to laugh, mate.
Yes.
You know, people need to laugh. So that's good.
Mate, thank you so much. We'll get you back.
No worries, mate.
Appreciate it, brother.
Always an honour coming on, mate.
Oh, it's
I love
great.
it.
And
Yeah.
appreciate the aces for writing in all those questions. It's,
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, guys. 3 questions, fantastic.
Loans, all the best, mate, for the 50th time.
Nah, appreciate it, mate.
If you're not wearing the Soho RIXXs, mate, I'm gonna give it up.
Nah, man, put them on now. These are absolutely beautiful, mate. So I'll be sporting them today at the Kooyong Tennis Club. I can guarantee
Let's
you
hope
that.
you'll get the chocolates over some 14-year-old.
Oh, 100%, mate. He's
you
never
go.
faced such tenacity in all his years. Tell you that much.
There it is. Thanks for listening to another episode of Tommy Talks. We literally can't thank you enough for all your support. Speaking of support, our great mates, Milwaukee Tools. Without yous, we wouldn't be here. Milwaukee Outdoor Power Equipment gives you the power to clear, cut, and maintain the outdoors without the petrol headaches. No pull starts, no engine maintenance, no mixing petrol and oil. Book a test drive now at milwaukeetools.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty. All right, catch you on the next one.